In fourth grade, we went to a camp in like the countryside near like the middle of Finland, I think. I don't remember exactly what place it was, but we stayed there for a few days, 4 days, I think. And it was like a camping trip. You would sleep in the same room with all of your friends and the different beds and stuff, which is quite the experience, but also a little bit horrifying because it was like the first time that you like slept over with all of your friends, and you would think that we would like stay up all night and stuff, but no, we were very exhausted. And although apparently we're not exhausted enough, because then what happened?
How many girls?
Including me, 5 girls in total, like from my friend group. They're all like my friends, and we would have like different beds, you know. I think I stayed in a bunk bed. One of my friend stayed slept on the couch, and then there were 2 like single beds at the corner of the rooms, and stuff got very, very chaotic very quickly. I don't know how it got to the way it did. I think it first started when we just went around, you know, doing our normal routine, putting on our pajamas, going to brush our teeth, going to shower, wash our hair. And then my friend Olivia was like, I hear water dripping, when we were trying to go to sleep. The lights were turned off, everything was peace and quiet. I was in the bed closest to Olivia's bed, and I don't hear any dripping, but my hearing was pretty bad, so can't really rely on me, I guess. And then we had to like turn on the lights. She didn't see anything. We turned off the lights. She still heard dripping, so she just took her phone, put on the flashlight, and investigated. Apparently her water bottle leaked, which isn't like the most horrifying thing ever, but then we tried to go to sleep again. Keep in mind, this was like way past our like bedtime. We were like the last one to go to sleep because of all the different chaos that happened during the day. So it was like it wasn't pitch black, but it was dark, and we were all trying to fall asleep. And then Olivia again woke all of us up when we were just about to go to sleep and says, I feel a piece of bread next to my pillow. I don't know how that piece of bread got there or who even put it there, because Olivia certainly did. Like she did not. She was like one of our most like cleanest friends. Like she wasn't a clean freak, but she loved, you know, stuff being clean. She doesn't like germs, and she would not put a piece of bread next to the pillow that she was going to be sleeping. So then she just woke all of us up really like furious and angry, and she was like, oh my god, look at this piece of bread next to my pillow. And she was like blaming all of us, like, who put this there, who threw this there. And then one of my other friend, Anna, was like, oh, I threw it there. And we were like, why? And she was like, you know, when we were laughing, we were telling jokes, and I was like throwing food at everybody. And then apparently the piece of bread next to Olivia's pillow was the one that we forgot to clean up with all the food throwing. And we were like, okay, fine, just get rid of the bread and just go to sleep. And then we turned off the lights again, and then we just start hearing this scratching noise, and we were like, what the heck is that scratching noise? And apparently my other friend Alicia gets very itchy when she needs to go to sleep, so maybe it was because the room was small. Maybe it was because everyone was like really quiet, you know, trying to go to sleep, but the itching was so loud. She tried to do it under the covers, but we could all obviously hear her, and it was like very awkward. We didn't want to say anything because we didn't want to judge, but then okay, then we got all the itching out of the way. We were like, Alicia, you need to stop like doing, you know, the itching. Everyone can hear you. Like, please stop. We're trying to go to sleep. And then she was like, okay. And then 5 minutes later, we hear squeaking. And we were like, what the heck is that noise? Why can we never fall asleep when we're trying to fall asleep? And we were like, okay, what the heck is that noise? Whoever is making that noise, like, come up and tell. And my friend Anna was like, oh yeah, this couch that she was sleeping on makes a lot of squeaking noise. And we were like, okay, can you try not to make the squeaking noise? And she was like, but I need to move around. And we were like, okay, fine, we'll try to ignore it. So then we tried to go to sleep. And then my friend Alexandra, who's in the same bunk bed but on top of me, was like, I can't fall asleep. Can somebody, you know, tell a story? So then another like 10 minutes of each of our friends telling each other stories, even though we're supposed to be sleeping, and we were way past our bedtime. And okay, almost there, almost asleep. And finally there was peace and quiet, and then I hear rustling on top of me, and I'm like, is this bunk bed gonna fall down on me? What is this rustling? But I didn't want to say anything because it was way past our bedtime. We needed to go to sleep, and I didn't want to like be a bother again. And then there was like more rustling and like rustle again and just rustle all the way up there. And I don't know how I managed to fall asleep, but I did. And in the morning, we were like dressing up, ready for our next, you know, morning activity for the next day. And then my friend Olivia was like, what was that rustling at like in the middle of the night? And apparently my friend Alexandra brought a sleeping bag with her. So instead of sleeping on the bed like a normal person, she put sleeping bag on the bed and slept in the sleeping bag, even though the bed was perfectly fine. I think when the teacher said we're going on a camping trip for 4 days, I think Alexandra meant we were actually going into a forest and sleeping in a tent, which we weren't, because, you know, we had actual rooms, we had bathrooms, and we had beds. Okay, we had beds, and, you know, the cover was fine, it wasn't, you know, dirty or anything. So I don't know why she put the sleeping bag up there. You don't need, when you're sleeping on a bed, you pull the cover up and you go under the cover. There was already a pillow as well, because she also put the pillow in her sleeping bag and just slept on the sleeping bag. It was very chaotic.